Cade with no Gunner today. I'm doing a little bit of a different thing this week. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a reading vlog over this whole coming week. It's currently Saturday right now as I'm recording this, so I'll record till next Saturday. I have been in the worst reading slump of my life right now, I think. I have been constantly busy, for one thing. Maybe I haven't been managing my time the best also, but I have been very busy, and I haven't gotten through almost anything that I wanted to read this month. I'm like halfway through one book that I want to finish. And I'm gonna say that's mostly due to this book, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I don't even know what to say about this. I'm gonna try to keep this part kind of short and not like just ranting, but I started reading this book near the beginning of this month, so August, and I didn't really like it. So I was like, whatever, I've already read 100-something pages, I'm really not into the story. Let me just try to power through it, because the whole book is only around like 340 pages. So I tried to power through it. I tried to just listen to it on an audiobook and see if maybe that would help me get through it. No, nothing's helped. So I really just burnt myself out by trying to push through and read a book that I was not enjoying and I didn't have any interest in. And that burnt me out real bad. So I haven't really been reading at all. And I gotta fix that. So this book, I am getting rid of it. I'm not touching that thing again. I'm going to try to read some stuff that I'm more interested in, and I'm going to try to get through maybe 2 or 3 books this week. We'll see how that goes, because I'm going to be starting school as well. So I had actually tried to record this video before, and I got 2 days into it. I was reading this book, White Noise by Don DeLillo, and my wisdom teeth, this one specifically, started coming in wrong, and I was in so much pain, I literally couldn't focus on reading for like 4 days straight. It hurt so bad. But I'm all better now. I've had medicine and everything, and I think I can read again. And hopefully nothing happens this time when I'm trying to record this reading vlog that impedes my ability to complete the whole week. So this is the book I'm going to be trying to finish today or tomorrow. I have around 110 pages left. I'm at page 200 right now. There's 310 pages. And it's really good. White Noise by Don DeLillo. This book might end up being one of my favorites that I've read, especially recently. This is very good. It's a little bit more of a postmodernist writing, kind of akin to David Foster Wallace, if you've ever read him before. I know Foster Wallace took quite a bit of inspiration from Don DeLillo. He mentions him in Infinite Jest, and actually he mentions this book in Infinite Jest, which I think is the reason that I picked it up, because he mentions this kind of barn analogy that the writer uses in it and expounds upon that a little bit. So that was really cool reading this and being like, oh, yo, that's what they were referencing in Infinite Jest. So I'm going to try to get through a lot of this today, at least read like 50 or 60 more pages before the end of the day. It is currently 4:20. So I think I have enough time to maybe even finish it today. We'll see. Let me just describe real quick for you guys that aren't aware of the book what's going on. So there's this university professor named Jack, and he teaches Hitler studies at the university that he works at. He has all these children from different wives, and he has his current wife, and they're all pretty happy together. Nobody's really losing their mind or anything, right? But then this airborne toxic event, as they call it in the book, happens, and everyone kind of has to evacuate the town. And it's all this kind of weird stuff is going on. You see on the TV before the airborne toxic attack happens, all these kind of natural disasters are occurring, and the book is kind of making reference to this and kind of how we as humans, we love to watch these like giant disasters occur on TV and everything, and then the actual disaster occurs to these people and they have to leave their home and everything. They eventually get to come back. I won't spoil everything because it seems like if I say certain stuff, I'm just going to be spoiling it, because I think you really just need to read this for yourself if you're interested in that description. But there's a lot of stuff at play here. The character of the children are all really well done, and specifically Jack, the main character, he's a professor at a university. And I think typically for me, when a character is like a professor or something, it really puts me off of the book, because a lot of the time it seems like having your character be a professor, like a teacher of any kind, can be a real cop-out because the author didn't want to put in the work to make the character seem smart, so it's easier for them to just say, hey, my character's a professor, and then they never really have to expand upon that at all. They could just say, yeah, he's got like a doctorate and he teaches at this school or something, so he's smart, and they never really do anything with that. There's a couple books I could say that I won't really say that do that. Dark Matter being one of them. But in this book, you really get the sense that this character is an intelligent person, and you kind of feel like, yeah, this is written like a professor at a university would probably be written, you know? It's a really odd book. I don't want to go on about it too long. I have to start reading and everything, but I could talk about this book all day and I'm not even done with it. It's an interesting book. It's an odd book. And I think if anything I said already piqued your interest, you should go and pick up this book and start reading it, because I think it'll really interest you. It's kind of got mystery elements and, you know, literary stuff, like classical literature type of things, mystery, all this different stuff is involved in there. It seems like there might be a little bit more of a romance thing building right now too. I'm not totally sure. I guess I'll tell you all that when I'm done reading it. But yeah, I'm going to get into this one right now. Just going to sit here for like 30 minutes and read, and then I'll come back to y'all, update you. I might actually read for a little longer. I don't know. We'll see. But it's day one of breaking my reading slump. Okay, so I've been reading on the couch over here, White Noise. I've read about 30 pages so far. Yeah, just about 30. And I'm almost at a loss for words on how good this book is right now. I'm glad I'm picking it up and reading it more right now, because I've, again, been in such a reading slump. I'm glad I am getting back into it. Again, 30 pages isn't a whole bunch, but I'm probably going to end up reading 50 pages today, maybe 60. Hopefully a little more, honestly, if I have time. It seems like there's a UFO aspect being introduced. There's this scene where the whole family is kind of in a car, and they just got chicken, like wings or something, and they're all kind of ripping apart their chicken wings, and they're talking about like these UFO abductions that have been reported and odd UFO encounters in the mountain range near where they live. And now I'm kind of thinking, is there going to be some like extraterrestrial component to this story? I wouldn't describe it as a mystery book, but when you're reading it, there's this aspect constantly of, where is this going? What's happening? You feel this stuff unraveling in front of you, but you don't know where it's going. You're not told where the ride is. It's like getting in an Uber and just the guy just going, you know? I don't really know how to describe it. It's a very crazy book. I'm excited to finish it. I'm gonna read more tonight. I just wanted to jump in real quick and kind of add that little thought that I had while reading it. I'm at a loss for words. I also need to decide tonight what book I'm gonna be reading next, because I'm probably gonna finish this tomorrow. So I'd like to already have the book that I'm gonna read next chosen. So we'll probably talk about that in just a minute after I'm done with this. So I've read about 50 pages today, and I was planning on reading more, but I'm exhausted, so I'm not going to read more. I'm just going to go to bed. But the book is really good right now. It's still kind of the same way I described it. It's just interesting. I'm waiting to figure out where it goes. nothing else is really happening. A family member came to visit them, and he gave our main character a gun, and then it hasn't been brought up since then, so we'll see if that goes anywhere. I don't know. I'm exhausted. I don't really even want to make this video thing right now, so I'm just gonna go to bed now. I'm so tired. It's only like 9 o'clock. I'm an old man. I go to bed early. I'm not too upset that I didn't get to read this much because I'm just trying to break this reading slump that I'm in, so I'm trying not to set like too hard of expectations on myself, like, oh, I have to read 100 pages a day or else I didn't break my reading slump. No, I'm just trying to read as much as I can, and as much as I can while still enjoying it is the important part. And I really enjoyed my reading time today, but I'm going to get back to it tomorrow. Maybe hopefully finish this book tomorrow or Monday. We'll see. I don't know yet. See ya. Sunday now, and I have a lot to do today, so let's get reading. Let's try to get like 10 or 20 pages done before I have to leave for church. I did not read like at all yesterday. Hardly anything. I read 10 pages, I believe. It was my brother's birthday. We were out doing stuff all day. I don't really feel bad about it. It's fine. I can spend time with family if I want. Reading isn't everything, but it does mean a lot, so I need to get back into it. I read at work today close to, where did I start off? Probably around 30 pages, I think, and I don't think this is gonna wrap up everything that I wanted it to wrap up. I was kind of expecting a neat little bow on the package at the end of the book, and it's really not seeming like I'm gonna get that. So I guess I'm gonna finish this. I have 10 pages left till I'm done. I'm gonna finish it. We'll talk about it a little bit, my thoughts and everything. I don't think it's enough for me to make a whole video on like some other books I've read recently, but I will talk about it in this video if you guys want to hear more about it. So let's finish this right now. Okay. Chapter 40. Finally there. What's happening? What is going on? I don't know what to say right now. I feel a little upset because I only have, what is it, like 2 pages left or something? 5 pages left, kind of. One of them is like a half a page, but I don't think I'm gonna get answers to anything. And it's not that I need answers or anything. I can read a book without definitive answers on everything. Feels like there was so much set up that I really thought was setting something up that there's just not going to be a payoff to. So let's read and finish this up and see, I guess, what else is in here. I'll just cut the video. I'll come back when I'm on the last like 2 pages, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be mad. I feel like this ending's gonna really make me mad. I don't know. I just have a feeling. Let's see. Huh. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Huh. I'm gonna have to think over that. Man. Give me a minute. I have a lot of thoughts, ideas, but overall, I kind of don't know what to say about this book. I know a lot of the kind of themes of like postmodern writing, like Don DeLillo's, tend to steer towards the side of a certain vagueness maybe, and like you almost have to decipher things a lot of the time, I feel like. And I like that sort of stuff, but I'm not sure if I like this book. I feel like I either love it or I hate it, and I don't know what I think about it. I think it's going to be one of those books that I really need to let sit for a couple of days and just mull it over in my head before I really know what I think about it. But my immediate reaction would be to say I think it was pretty middle of the road. There's obviously some great stuff in there, and I feel like there's these deeper themes. Obviously, the theme of death is very consistent in this book. I'm going to get into a little bit of spoilers, I think. So if y'all don't want to see that, just skip ahead to this time code and I'll be done with spoilers there. But let me just talk about them a little bit, because I think it's going to be hard to discuss this without spoilers. So if you haven't read this book, but you don't care about spoilers, you could continue watching, I guess. The theme of death is very obvious in this book. You have Jack and his wife, and they're both kind of terrified of death. They're less scared of the pain or anything of death than they are of just the dread of knowing that they're going to die. And they have these conversations of, oh, who's going to die first? And they both kind of wish that they'll die first. And Jack ends up getting exposed to the airborne toxic event, which it seems like in the book they're getting at the fact that it's probably not going to kill him, that most like people or something that would be exposed to this, it would take decades for it to kill them, and he's already an old man. But he takes this as the fact that he now has a stamped, marked death date, that he is just ready for death, you know, and it's coming. Instead of the fact that he's already going to die before he even is exposed to this airborne toxic event, it almost seems like exposure to that makes death real for him and kind of ramps up his fears and anxieties. The other thing is Dylar in this book is a drug that a man has produced that is supposed to take away the fear of death by binding certain receptors in the brain. But this drug has side effects that are death or kind of like hell on earth type of things, like almost worse than death, things that could happen in life to you, all as a result of wanting to bind these receptors and control the mind's fear of death so that you're not scared of death. It's not going to make you not die, but it will make you not be afraid of dying anymore. Which then you can bring up the themes, I guess, of, you know, what's more scary, just the thought of dying or actual death itself. I don't know. There's a lot here, man. There's a lot to work through. I think I could probably read this book 5 times and still be trying to pick out the little pieces. Something I wrote down here is that Jack is willing to risk taking Dylar, a drug that could cause death but prevents the fear of death. So is he really afraid of death so much as he is afraid of the fear of death. I don't know if I'm wording that right, but it seems like the whole book, they're just anxious that they are scared of death and not that they're gonna die. They're more scared of their own fear. I really don't know if I'm getting all this right or anything. I'm just trying to kind of work through these thoughts on camera. Most of the time this is something I do kind of on my own, but you know, I'm recording a vlog thing, so I figure, hey, why not work through it on camera? So if I'm saying stuff that doesn't make sense, if you've read this book, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not an expert or anything, certainly not on literature, but this is just kind of my thoughts on it. It also seems like Jack has so many kids in this book. So many kids that I honestly lost track of how many kids he has. I think it's somewhere around like 7 or 10 maybe. I don't even remember. It's a lot of kids. But I think maybe one of the things is he's having all these kids as a kind of sense of immortality, that even once he dies, that he'll have this vast group of children all living after him and stuff. Maybe. I don't know. There's definitely something about the supermarket, because the ending paragraph of this book is all to do with the supermarket. And this is where we wait together, regardless of age. Our carts stocked with brightly colored goods. A slowly moving line, satisfying, giving us time to glance at the tabloids in the racks. Everything we need that is not food or love is here in the tabloid racks. The tales of the supernatural and the extraterrestrial. The miracle vitamins, the cures for cancer, the remedies for obesity, the cults of the famous and the dead. That's what the book ends on. I feel like it's totally out of my league to kind of delve into this more. I'll talk about it more if I think of anything else in the coming days. I think I'm going to get into another book right now. But yeah, I do want to mull this over a bit more. I want to think about it. It's very interesting. Man. It's almost infuriating when you finish a book and you don't have that moment where you just are like, oh, that's the puzzle. That's what it is. It seemed like there were so many building blocks building to this overarching story of everything that was happening, and it seemed like it was all starting to come together, and then it just didn't. Obviously, themes of death, of kind of some higher power themes, almost destiny, power in general, with the certain subplots, you know, wanting to be in control and everything. I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I don't know what else to say about that. I might come back and talk to you guys more about that later. Let's figure out the next book I'm going to read. But before I do that, let's rate this book. Personally, for me, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably right now say a 6. I know that's not very high. That's kind of low for me. I really enjoyed reading this. I feel like I just don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. Maybe it's because I took such a long time to read it that I'm forgetting some of the beginning things. Maybe I'm just not putting it all together yet. But I'm going to give it a 6 right now. I like a lot of the theming and the story. I like a lot of the characters. Some of them could feel dull. I think I'm going to leave it at about a 6. Maybe 6.5-ish. I would fall a little more towards a 7 than I would a 5. So it's kind of like a high 6. But yeah, that's White Noise. I'm finally done. Feels good to be done with the book. Let's pick out the one I'm going to read next. So what am I going to read? I have a tall bookshelf right here and a short bookshelf. And I'm not totally sure what I want to get into. I know I want something that's not going to be as difficult as White Noise was, but I have a lot of classics. I have a lot of Cormac McCarthy right here, some Kurt Vonnegut, all the Dune books. Not going to read those again for a while. And then I have like just a bunch of random assortment stuff here. I'm feeling kind of like sci-fi, but I don't really want to read like a Star Wars book right now or anything. I'm thinking something on the shelf right here. A lot of these are things I haven't read yet. I'd say about half of this area I haven't read yet. And it's standing out to me right now. I think I know what I'm going to read. I'm going to go with this one right here. World War Z. I said in the very first video on this channel that I was going to read this book for my June TBR, I think. And I didn't get around to it. So I think now would actually be the perfect time to get into World War Z. See how many pages this is. Around 340 pages. That's not bad. I think I can probably finish this maybe 2 or 3 days. And I might be able to knock out like 3 books for this video, which would be very good. I know there's an audiobook for this one, so I think what I'll do is read and listen to it. Like if I'm in the car or something, I can just put it on the audiobook so that I don't have to constantly be just reading. You know, it might help me get it through a little bit faster. But I do want to read something that is not as literary, maybe, and that I can get through a little easier without having to think as much, I guess. So I'll start getting into this right now, I guess. I think I'll only try to read like 10 or 20 pages tonight. I really don't want to read a whole lot more today. I'd rather kind of think about the book I just read a little more and relax, because it's been a long day at work. And I did read like 50 pages already today, so that's a pretty good amount for anybody, I think, especially me. This book is a fictional oral account of the zombie war, and from what I know, it's written pretty interestingly. It's kind of like told in almost like a diary type of thing, maybe, or something. I might be wrong on that. I'll update as I'm going through it on how it kind of feels like. It's talking about... It's kind of a retrospective on the zombie war and everything. I've heard so much good stuff about this. Yeah, let's get into this. Let's start reading for the day. I'll update y'all at the end of the day on if I read anything else, really, or not. I have some things to do, so maybe I'll put on the audiobook while I'm just going about the house doing some chores and everything. We'll see. It's nighttime. I don't know why I did that. I've read like a chapter of World War Z, so like 10 pages, and it's pretty good so far. I just wanted to say that before I go to bed. Yeah, that's all I got. Tomorrow. Alright, it's Tuesday now. I'm still on World War Z. I haven't read much more because I had my first day of class for college today, and I haven't really had time yet today. I've been jumping all around. It's about 3 o'clock right now, so hopefully I can get a lot more read before bedtime. Maybe I can get to page 100. Might be kind of rough. I'm only at page 20 right now. They're just now arriving in Greece. I think the book's really good right now. I read a little bit of it, and then I was like, the way that this is written almost feels like it should be an audiobook. So I put on the audiobook on Spotify right here, and it's really good. I don't know, I've been kind of jumping back and forth, reading or listening. I think I kind of prefer listening for this one, which is weird because normally I'm really like, I don't like audiobooks very much. I can't picture it in my head if I'm listening to it. I have to like physically read the words and everything. But this audiobook is really good. There's like different narrators for each character and everything, so it really kind of fleshes everything out. And the book is written almost like you're reading the survivors' accounts, so it's not as visual as some other novels I've read so far. It might change, but it's very good so far. I'm excited to read the rest of this. I'm gonna try to have this finished, I think, by Thursday or Friday, and then maybe finish one more book before we're done with the reading vlog thing. I'm feeling good about my kind of reading slump that I've been in. I finished White Noise. I'm still kind of thinking about that book, but I'm feeling pretty good about the kind of reading slump that I've been in so far. It hasn't affected me too much, I guess. I'm not really feeling it anymore. Before, I was like, anytime I tried to read, I was just like, oh, I don't want to do this. I'm not feeling it right now. But right now, I am feeling it, I would say. I'm really enjoying World War Z. Gonna try to get through a lot more of it today. I'll keep updating you guys though, because stuff might come up, you know. This is the thing about reading is you can say, I'm gonna read 100 pages today, I'm gonna read 50 pages, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call, oh, I gotta go into work and do this or something, and then you don't get any of your reading goals done for the day. Or you know, you can have stuff popping up that even takes a month to complete your reading goals that you thought you would have done in a week or so. It all just kind of depends, but that's life. So it's just best not to worry about it. Just go with the flow. I'm going to keep updating you guys. Start reading this a little more. I'm actually going to listen to it because I have to drive over to Gunner's house right now and see Gunner. So I'll listen to it on the way there. Okay. I am at Gunner's house, but I want to tell y'all. Halfway through chapter 4 right now. We're in Greece, so they have left the China narrative and now they're talking to a doctor from Greece, and he's been performing these surgeries on people. He does a heart surgery. The heart, the donor heart, came from China, had the virus in it. He implants it into the patient. Doctor's out partying and stuff, gets a call from his assistant or whoever it was, I kind of forget. And she's like, he woke up, you need to get over here. Like, this guy woke up, like, from his coma or whatever, his induced coma, and, like, bit the other doctor. And, oh my gosh, the doctor comes over and, like, shoots him in the head with a Desert Eagle. It's crazy. It's such a cool idea for one of the zombies to be created by, like, an infected heart that gets transplanted into somebody. That's so cool. I've never seen that before. I don't like consume a ton of zombie stuff. I've watched like 4 seasons of The Walking Dead or something, and that's about it. Besides being obsessed with like zombies when I was a little kid. But yeah, that's a really cool idea. I just wanted to say that because I was listening to the book on my drive. I was like, whoa, that's cool. So yeah. Alright, that's all I had to say. It's Wednesday. We're back. Still in World War Z. I haven't read a whole lot today. I had doctor's appointments and stuff. Life is trying to keep me away from reading, but I'm pushing through. I am at page 54 right now, so not too bad. We're just now getting to Antarctica. We have visited a whole bunch of different places. Greece, China, Israel, Palestine. Was it Finland? I think it was Finland. Yeah. Africa, I think, was in there too, if I'm not mistaken. So right now it's just kind of all these different survivors' accounts of the beginning days of the war and everything. And it's really interesting. It's kind of going on too long, I feel like. I mean, 50 pages in and it's still just like all these different countries talking about kind of the beginning of the war and how their country handled it. It's not bad, like, it's kind of fine. I'm just getting ready for it to be wrapped up, you know. I don't want to hear about it too much. I want to kind of get into the actual wars and everything, because they're describing it and you're like, oh, this is interesting. But then I'm sitting here thinking, okay, it's interesting, but when am I going to get to actually hear about all this stuff besides just like someone being like vaguely talking about the wars and all the people that died? I want to hear about this stuff and everything. I'm probably going to try to get to page 100 or so by the end of today. And tomorrow, today or tomorrow actually, today I'll try to get to 100 or 150-ish in pages. And then tomorrow I think I'm going to make my final kind of push to get the book done, which is going to take quite a bit. So I might need to read a lot today. We'll see. All right. I am backwards. I'm on page 60 right now, but I wanted to talk about what I just read because it was very interesting. I just got to the part with Breck Scott. He's this kind of evil businessman guy who came out with a vaccine for the rabies, which is what they thought it was at the time. They were calling it African rabies. He came out with this drug, this vaccine that was supposed to, not let people get infected, which he goes and starts saying, the best way to do it is with a vaccine, not a cure, because then everyone will take the vaccine, but nobody's going to take the cure if they don't think that they have it, so you're going to make more money if you just have vaccine. He's kind of evil business guy who's using this vaccine as a way to get rich. And he's kind of talking about just the way that his company was able to profit from this mass panic of all these people that were just looking for any way to assure themselves that they weren't going to be next or be sick or anything, because he was like, I sold air purifiers. The virus isn't even an airborne toxin or anything. It's just like a virus transmitted via bite. And he's like, I was selling air purifiers that claim that they would, reduce viral bacteria or something. And people were buying it up, It might be cheesy, but I do always kind of appreciate a good evil businessman character in books. It's so old school and classic, but every time there's like an evil businessman, I'm like, yeah, I can see it. So, I don't know. Let's keep reading though, because this book is very good so far. I'm actually surprised, because I wasn't liking it too much the first 30 pages, but now I'm starting to really get into it. I just want to get into like the wars and everything, because they keep mentioning these wars and all these people that died, and I want to kind of get the story behind that too. So, yeah, I'm going to continue. I'll jump back if I have any updates or anything. Day is almost over, and I'm only at page 83 in the book right now. It's really good. I'm just tired once again. I'm either going to have to listen to a little bit more of this on audiobook, I think, because it's getting kind of hard for me to focus, or I am going to just... I don't know. I wanted to get to page 100 today so that I could be done probably by Friday or so. And it kind of seems like that's not going to happen now. So maybe I'll read a lot more tomorrow. It was, again, kind of a busy day today. Tomorrow I shouldn't have as much going on besides school. So we'll see, I guess. I don't know. I have completely failed. It is Tuesday, September 2nd. I'm not even close to being done with this. I'm on page 121. I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't really been reading anything at all, or even listening to the audiobook. The thing is, I really like this book. I'm not doing it. I don't know. I haven't been sitting down and reading it all. I have been, in all fairness, kind of busy lately. School started for me and everything, so I've been doing that, but I still have time to read. I've been just kind of not doing it. So, I don't know if I'm going to end it here. I guess not. I have about 200 pages left to get through. So, maybe I won't vlog at all, but I'm going to try to get through quite a bit of it today and tomorrow, and then we'll see if I can actually finish this and redeem myself, since I kind of fell right back into my reading slump. I know I said this video I was going to break my reading slump and everything, but it seems like I ended up just falling right back into it. So right now, I'm just cleaning up my apartment. It's kind of messy, and I'm going to just listen to the World War Z audiobook and see how much of it I can get done before 6 o'clock when I have to leave. So it's currently 4:20 right now. Nice. Let's breeze through this. All right. I have been listening to this for about an hour now, and I'm at page 151 in the book. I've just been listening to the audiobook though, because I've been doing stuff around the house. Let me say, this is really good. I'm really liking it. I have gripes and I have positive things One of my gripes, though, is since we are constantly jumping to different people, you know, we're going from South Africa to America to Canada to Mexico, back to South Africa, and then we're looking at Colorado, and then we're looking at Israel, and then we're looking at Brazil or something, or Antarctica, like all these different places we're looking at and seeing how they respond to the outbreak, which is very interesting. It's a good format to tell the story in, but it takes away from really knowing like characters. It kind of puts the whole thing in a bird's eye view instead of maybe what I would prefer, which is like a grounded human story amongst the chaos or something. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm thinking right now. Like, I'm listening to this and reading it, and I'm thinking like, man, I wish I got to hear more about that specific story. You know, there's a story of this family, mom and a dad and their daughter, who drive out really far north to escape the apocalypse and be away from all the like roaming gangs and all the zombies and stuff. But instead of getting to really sit with that, it's only dedicated maybe like 5 or 6 pages to it. Maybe a little more, maybe like 8 pages. And a lot of the kind of emotional depth or the human aspect is lost because you just have to breeze through this so that you can get into the next thing. And that's fine. It's a really interesting story, like I said. It's just a little complaint I have with it. The one thing that Max Brooks does really well, though, is he's telling this story, and every aspect of how people are reacting to the war is really like believable. I mean, zombie apocalypse is totally unbelievable, right? But the human like reactions to this catastrophic situation are really like, I'm reading it and I'm like, oh my word, I think that's like exactly how that would happen in real life. Or, you know, like there's kind of this chaos and there's countries that just completely implode upon themselves. I don't know, it's just really interesting the way that Max Brooks is writing this, and the kind of overall aspect of it, like economic, social, all that stuff is really interesting in here. Just kind of seeing, like, picturing in your head, would this be how everyone would react if something so catastrophic and crazy happened? Would everyone really be acting like this? You know, these people are at each other's throats and they're killing each other. They're trampling babies and women and children for just to get to safety. And yeah, it seems like that kind of thing probably would happen. I don't know. It's kind of scary reading this too. Just thinking like, oh my gosh, this level of chaos is insane in the book. It makes you feel a little bit bad, even though it's just a fictional account. I don't know. I'm going to get back to reading. Hopefully I can get to page 200 today. I should be able to finish this tomorrow if I keep up at the pace that I'm going right now. So we'll see. I got to break this reading slump. I'm going to get through it. It is Wednesday now, and I am on page 204. We just read about South Korea and how they handled the apocalypse and how their neighbors, North Korea, handled the apocalypse. Some really interesting stuff there, but 200 pages in now, starting to not like it as much. I don't know. Feels like there's nothing more to be said, almost. It's kind of just going on about, you know, how awful this was and how all these different places responded. And that's fun for like 150 pages or 100 pages. And then it just gets kind of like, okay, yeah, I've heard this before. Yep, people were starving. People were fighting each other. The government was in shambles. What else is there? And so far it seems like there's not really anything else. I don't know, it's fun, but it feels like it could have been a short story, maybe, or like a much shorter book at least. I don't know, because I'm only 200 pages in. Hopefully I'll get to page 300 or even finish it today. If not, I'm totally going to be finishing it tomorrow. But I just want to be done with this one and figure out where it goes, see if it gets any better at all. I don't know if it's going to. Alright, well, I'm going to get back to it today. I got a lot to read and listen to, so let's get back into it. Right now we're in Beijing, China, and they're kind of talking about, this part's pretty interesting. They're talking about how, you know, China, Mao's idea was like have the biggest population that you can to overwhelm any enemies or anything, I guess, and they kind of didn't consider having all these people was a great thing. And when the zombie invasion happened, they were just throwing like all these people at the zombies to try to stop them, but they never considered that for every person that they were sending out, they were creating a zombie possibly. So in the end, this like giant military force ended up being a net negative for them because of how the actual virus works and everything and the zombies. So that part's pretty cool. Again, there's cool ideas in here. I never said there aren't cool ideas. It's just that there's not enough of a through line, I feel like. I don't know. It's an interesting kind of gimmick for a book, but it's not a very good way to tell a story, I don't think. Maybe I just prefer like a more like small scale down to earth story than like these big bird's eye view stories. But it's just really not clicking with me that much right now. I'm gonna finish it. I don't have that much left, but I think I'm gonna be done after this. Alright, it's 9 o'clock. I've been breezing through this book right now. I am on page 270. Last kind of section of the book. The book is kind of divided into different sections, and I'm on the last one, but there's still quite a bit of ways to go. So, let me just say, I was complaining about the fact that it felt kind of like there wasn't a lot of like in-depth character stuff or anything, or that the character stuff wasn't great, and how everything was kind of seen from a bird's eye view. Literally like 2 chapters after I'm saying this, we get a character that was in an international space station and is just watching everything go down from space. They're watching dams explode, zombies eat people and everything. And I'm sitting there listening to this chapter. I'm like, oh my word. I was just complaining about how everything felt like it was from a bird's eye view, and now it's like from further than a bird's eye view. It's from space view. I don't know. I'm going to try to finish a little more before bedtime. It's kind of my bedtime already. I'm an old man. I go to sleep early, but I'm going to try to read a little bit more, I think. So let's see if we can do that. It's currently 10:36 at nighttime, and I ended up making it to page 292. Pretty good for today. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with myself for today. That was a good day of reading, a long day of reading. I'm going to be honest, that last chapter, I listened to it on audiobook, and not all of it stuck up here, but I'm also kind of growing more and more disinterested in the book, so maybe that's a part of it. Right now, there's a guy that he was talking to that kind of ran with this operative unit where they use dogs to hunt down the zombies and take them out and everything, and it's kind of interesting. It's a little bit tugging at your heartstring kind of thing, kind of emotionally manipulative, because it's just like, oh, these dogs are dying, and that's sad, which it is, but it's, I don't know. I'm too tired at this point. I'm an old man, like I said. I'm normally to bed by 9 o'clock, so I need to go to bed, but I had a little work to do, so I did that and did it while I listened to the audiobook. Tomorrow we're finishing this thing, though. I got an hour and 40 minutes or something left on the audiobook, and I'm finishing tomorrow, no matter what. So let's finish this vlog up, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. It's Thursday. I am almost done. I am on page 309 in the book right now. The book in total, 342 pages. So I'm almost there. I'm definitely going to be done today. I'm glad to finally be done. I'm ending up not liking it as much as I thought I would, but I'm glad that I'm reading it. It's definitely helping me break the reading slump that I've been in, so that's good. It's just not as great of a book as I was hoping for. I've heard so much good stuff about it, but it's just not for me. I don't know. I'm kind of picky when it comes to books, I guess, so who knows. Let's finish this thing up today, though, guys. Finally, we're going to be done with this video. Alright, it is 8:41 right now. I just went to a Muay Thai practice with Gunner. So, I'm going to knock out the last of this World War Z audiobook right now. I got like 25 minutes left in it, I think. So I'm going to make the drive home. I should be done. I'm going to listen to it maybe on 2x speed, just to get it over with a little faster. Got about a 10-minute drive home, so I will update you guys when I get there, because I should be done with the book finally. Talk to you then. Alright, I am home now. I have 15 minutes left in the audiobook still, so I'm going to pack up, get inside, finish it. Last page. Let's finish it up. Done. It has been about a week, I think, since I started this. And I'm finally done. And I'm pretty disappointed, if I'm being honest. Here's the thing. It wasn't what I expected. And a lot of the time that doesn't really matter to me if I go in expecting one thing and I get a different thing. But I had heard the story was kind of like this, where you jump to different people. It was just too much. It was too all over the place with nothing really interconnecting it. It's more of a gimmick, I felt like, than anything else. There's nothing where I really had a strong connection to anything or attachment or anything like that, really. It was just, I'm hearing about this stuff that was happening, or I'm reading about this stuff that was happening. I listened to some of this on audiobook and I read some of it. But yeah, it was really kind of underwhelming. I'm sorry if people watching this like the book, but I'm very underwhelmed right now. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that there was going to be something more to hold my attention and to really bring me into the universe that the book takes place in, but there was nothing. I've heard talks of people talking about the movie compared to the book and everything, and I have to say, I don't see how they would even translate this book into a movie. Like, not even close. I think it wouldn't work as a movie the way that it is. Maybe it would work as like a series of really like 10-minute long TV episodes or something. Maybe. Yeah, I think I've seen the movie when I was younger, and it's not at all like the book, but I just don't see how you would put that on the big screen. The disjointed nature of it would make it almost impossible to adapt, I would assume. Yeah. I'm going to go with a 4 out of 10 for this book, I think, if I had to rate it. Maybe with some time I'll up it to a 5, but as of right now I'm a little disappointed, so I'm going to go with a 4 out of 10, I think. I think that's a pretty good rating for what I thought of it. It wasn't in any means a bad book, but it was just very underwhelming to me. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. Again, if you like it, that's great. It wasn't my cup of tea, personally. I don't know. I'm kind of picky about books. I think the longer the channel goes on, the more people will kind of see I am pretty like, I have what I like, and I tend to not like a lot of other stuff. I really like to read this is going to sound pretentious when I say this, but I like to read a book and have my mind running while I'm reading the book and thinking, oh, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Oh, that's what that means. That's how that relates to that and everything. I love putting together the puzzle of a book. And this just felt like I was kind of along for the ride, which isn't bad, but it's not my cup of tea. We did it, everybody. We read White Noise by Don DeLillo and World War Z by Max Brooks in a little more than a week. I was planning to read both in a week, but it took a while longer. So, do I think that I broke the reading slump? I feel like I'm excited to read more. I think maybe just because World War Z was a bit underwhelming, and this book was... I'm still thinking about it. But this book was very good, and then I read World War Z, which was a bit underwhelming, so I think I'm kind of ready to get into something a bit more challenging now. Both these books, this book was very thought-provoking, but I wouldn't say it was necessarily a challenging read. I think I'm ready to get into something more challenging in the future. Probably something I'll make a video about again. And yeah, guys, I mean, I'm pretty sure my reading slump's kind of broken. I'm excited to get into stuff again. I have a lot that I'm interested in right now, and I think reading those two books within the span that I did, I think it was pretty good. It's kind of not as high of a performance, I guess, at reading that I've had before, because I have read like way more books in a shorter time span, but I didn't want to overdo it and really burn myself out. So I think I took it kind of slower, and I think that was good. I'm excited to get into more stuff, like I said. I don't know. Yeah, guys. Thank you for coming along on this little journey to break the reading fast. I really appreciate it. If you watched all this way, I know this video is probably going to be very long. This is my first reading vlog, so if it wasn't a high tier video that was really just mind-blowing, just stick with me. I'm going to get better at it. I am trying every day new stuff. Gunnar and I were working on the channel, trying to figure this out, trying to make sure that we're putting out some high quality stuff for you guys, and we really appreciate all your viewership. Let me know in the comments what you're reading right now, if you're reading anything, and if you're not reading anything right now, go pick up something to read. I appreciate you guys watching. See ya.